Hey, welcome to college football. My name is Jesse. Before you jump into that video, make sure you visit coolladman100x.com to get custom ebooks and other things that's available on the website. Link will be in the description below. Also, visit the NFLShop to get yourself some Kansas City's Chiefs gear and your own personal team gear as well. And also, all the other sponsors will be in the description below. Now, back to Kool-Aid.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Kool-Aid Man 100X. Welcome to college football. How y'all doing? So we're going to be jumping into the USC offensive playbook. We're going to be looking at a formation called gun wire off trips. We're going to be looking at a play called DIY HB direct reverse. Pretty much difficult to run, but it's kind of cool. So we're going to be doing a mini scheme and a breakdown to not just run the play, but a little mini scheme behind it that you can utilize in a couple of plays. So I'll sit back and relax, get your notebook, and let's go into a deep dive. So we're going to be coming out in a DIY HB direct reverse first before we break down a little mini scheme to it. And let's jump into it. Now, for this reverse here is that you have to do it yourself. That's the only way it's going to work. So you have to hand it off to him, but it's a little tricky. But once you cut up the field, it makes it a little bit more understandable. So let's jump into it. So when the icon pops up and you give it to him, this is where it gets a little tricky because sometimes you got to utilize the left stick to see where you're going in the offense. So what we want to focus on, if we want to focus on the offensive line, we want to look at number 61. Number 61 is going to indicate where we cut and where we go because the line changes after the handoff. So now the line reactions, so now we get a chance to see where we want to go and utilize that. But it's all pretty much RNG, so it's basically how you run the ball and get the ball at that particular time. Because sometimes, in this instance for the reverse, you don't even have to hand it off. You can actually just, run it. But you want to take the risk of running into the player, so be mindful of that. So when the icon pops up, be mindful of where you want to go and where you want to go. So now when you run in the reverse, it does have the left side open, so when you want to run it, bam, sometimes they react differently. You see what I'm saying? Line react differently. Slide protection works, but not necessarily, but you have to be able to get past the receivers as much as you can. So be mindful of that too as well. So when you do max protect here, you see the line actually shift forward, right? Gives you way big, opportunities to run, and you can definitely utilize that. So the indicator is making like, when you're looking at 61, he pushing the line right, and it makes everybody go to the right, and you have the left side of the field wide open. So you got less people to beat for this reverse. So this reverse is very deadly, but you have to practice it. You don't want to fumble. In case you don't, you want to be able to utilize this yourself. So you have to press L1 and time it perfectly. This is something you definitely have to practice because sometimes when you get to the outside of the field, that guy gets back in that field and you lose yardage. So be mindful of how you do it. Just like I said, you don't have to hand it off, but you risk running into the player. So it's tricky to run, but you have to utilize how to not run into the player because he's coming for the reverse. But to negate that problem, when you do max protect and you don't want to pass it, just run up the middle of the field, basically, when you see that opening. So when you do max protect and you don't want to hand it off, you have to hit this hole automatically because it opens up for you. But automatically when you do max protect and hand it off, shoot, you have the whole left side of the field open and all you got is one person to beat, basically. So be mindful of that. So the audibles that I put in here for you is the motion, vertical, inside zone, and HB direct snap. Now what you want to come out in is, so after you hit this play a couple of times, people want to mess around and key in on it. So the first thing you want to do is understanding like stick and nine. So it's just like the same reverse play, but it's a little bit more cooler because you got a zig route, you got the zig route, which is R1, and you got the X route too as well. Cool thing about this is that you can switch up that X route. So you can definitely have him streak, do whatever you want basically. So what I like to do here is either put him in a corner route too. I like to put him in a corner route here, and I like to custom stem him, bring him down to the lowest so he automatically cuts after the line. So But the focus on you really want to focus on is either the square or the triangle. Now, if you don't want him to stop there, I recommend putting him in a slant so that I open up the left slide. So we're gonna just run it with the curl. So when he runs outfield, bam, they don't really key in on him here. So now you got him, wide open basically. So when you're running this play, it actually opens up the field more. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to put him in a corner. We're going to put a custom stem on him and put him here, and we're going to slant square. So now that they got the safety dropping down on him, this actually opens up triangle just a little bit more if they're not keying in on him. So this actually gives you a one-on-one thing to do, and you actually can run up the field and utilize that as well. So be mindful of how you run this play. And you just don't have to put him in a slant too. You can put him in, a slant to the left or, slant to the right. If you just want him to key in on having, the right side to himself. And don't forget, you don't have to pass it to him if they key in on it, because that R1 is going to zip right across the middle of the field, and that slant is going to be there for you too as well. So just like I said, you don't have to throw it to triangle, because as you see here, when you back up, you will see that zip route for R1 be wide open there. And also you'll be able to see this slant here open too as well. So the slant will definitely be open to you as well. And that'll open up the field too for that 9. So the next play is going to be verticals. Pretty much self-explanatory for verticals. You can do this as well. You can actually run the play stock. I think the only adjustment that I do is just mess with, the left receiver. I put him in a slant, or which would be like a speed out here. You can do that, or streak, doesn't matter. In this instance, if he's backing up, I like speed outs, because if they backed up like that, I can hit the speed out instantaneously. But sometimes it delays the throw, so you want to be mindful of that too when you run a vertical. So in this instance, I like to get inside positioning or streaks too as well. So you definitely utilize that if you get inside positioning. If you don't force it, but if you can get the body over him, you can force it too as well. The verticals actually opens up because Casey makes his decision to go either or, but R1 to be your bailout. So triangle to be your bailout too for the running back. So this definitely gives you options to throw to as well. So pretty much it for verticals, man. You can just hit the 2 streaks if you want, but X is going to be the decision maker. So if he cuts back, he's not open, but that opens up square too as well. So I'm going to show you guys an instant replay here. So when he cuts down, he makes a decision that let him know what's in man or zone. So when he cuts down here, that means your next route will be him right underneath for the table route. If he's not open, these 2 streaks are actually taking the safeties and stuff down too as well. So that actually opens up a little bit more for the field too, for you to understand. So we're going to be going to the inside zone. The inside zone is very good out of this formation too as well. You don't really have to run anything. It has really good blocking. It opens up the holes a little bit more better for you, so you can definitely utilize and left stick your way right after touchdown basically. So be mindful in the inside zone, but my favorite this is when you max protect. It actually opens up the hole, but you have to understand linebackers sit on these routes. So yeah, be mindful of that max protecting. And my favorite running play is the HB direct snap. The reason why I say this is that they direct snap directly to the running back, and it's the fastest snap possible. So when he direct snap, you can just automatically take off. They got 2 blockers that you have up the field. So the direct snap goes directly to the running back. They need to make more plays like this too as well, which I think they should, because I think this is something new a lot of people don't know about, is a direct snap to the HB, because you automatically get beast blocking, and it just opens up the field so much more for this too. And I would definitely put this on the audibles just to trick people, because they're thinking they're coming to the quarterback, but it just opens up the field. And when you max protect too, it gives you a little bit more better blocking, and it just gives you one-on-one, and that linebacker is not going to be able to catch that running back in time. So you can definitely utilize max protecting, slide protecting, anything that you want, ID Mike, and it just opens up so much more for you, and it opens up the block too. And it just gives you one guy to beat, and it opens up the field a little bit more for you. So I hope you enjoy this breakdown. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next video.